Welcome to a journey back in time, to the Viking days of Norway, a land of rugged mountains, dark forests and icy waters. But this stark beauty held hidden dangers, for it was also a land inhabited by terrifying monsters, creatures of myth and legend, born from the fears and superstitions of the Norsemen. These were not simply tales to frighten children around a flickering fire, but beings as real to the Vikings as the axes in their hands and the longships beneath their feet. Prepare yourself for the top 10 scariest monsters that haunted the Norsemen, creatures so terrifying their very names could chill the blood of the bravest Viking warrior. Imagine, if you will, the terror of a Viking returning from a raid at sea only to find their village under attack. Not by men, but by the Draga, these monstrous undead beings, bloated and swollen from the seawater that filled their graves, were a horrifying sight to behold. Their eyes burned with an unholy light, and the stench of decay clung to them like a shroud. Driven by a lust for vengeance and a hunger for the flesh of the living, the Draga were a fearsome enemy. They possessed superhuman strength, capable of crushing a man's skull with a single blow, and could even spread disease and madness with their touch. Some tales speak of Draga wielding weapons they were buried with, their blades dripping with a foul ichor that could poison even the hardiest warrior. Few creatures inspired as much fear in the hearts of Viking sailors as the Kraken. This colossal sea monster, said to dwell in the deepest reaches of the Norwegian fjords, was a creature of unimaginable size and power. Imagine, if you can, a creature so large its body could be mistaken for an island. Its tentacles, each as thick as a ship's mast, reaching up from the depths to drag unsuspecting vessels and their crews to a watery grave. Legends say that the Kraken would lie in wait beneath the surface, its enormous eyes watching for any sign of movement. A passing longship, disturbing the water with its oars, could trigger a devastating attack. The Kraken would rise from the depths, its tentacles lashing out with incredible speed and ferocity, crushing ships and dragging sailors to their doom. Fenrir, the monstrous wolf, was a creature of pure chaos and destruction. The son of Loki, the trickster god, and the giantess Angrboda, Fenrir was prophesied to bring about Ragnarok, the end of the world. The gods, fearing his immense power, attempted to bind him, but Fenrir, with cunning and strength, broke free from every chain. It was said that Fenrir's jaws were so large he could swallow the sun and the moon, plunging the world into darkness. His howls could shake the very foundations of the earth, and his hunger was insatiable. The Vikings believed that only the hero Tyr, who bravely sacrificed his hand to bind the beast, could ultimately defeat Fenrir at Ragnarok. Jormungandr, the world serpent, was another of Loki's monstrous offspring. This colossal serpent, so large that it could encircle the entire world with its body, resided in the vast ocean that surrounded Midgard, the realm of men. Its scales were said to be as black as night, and its eyes glowed with an eerie, malevolent light. Legends say that when Jormungandr moved, it caused massive earthquakes and tsunamis, its enormous body stirring the very oceans themselves. The Vikings believed that Jormungandr and Thor, the god of thunder, were destined to clash at Ragnarok. In the folklore of the Vikings, few creatures were as alluring yet as deadly as the Nuken. These shape-shifting water spirits, often taking the form of beautiful maidens or handsome young men, lured unsuspecting victims to watery graves with their enchanting music and captivating voices. Imagine, if you will, a lone traveller, weary from their journey, stumbling upon a tranquil lake. The sound of music, hauntingly beautiful, drifts across the water, beckoning the traveller closer. As they approach the lake's edge, they see a figure of breathtaking beauty, their voice like honey, inviting the traveller to join them. But the beauty of the Nokken was a deadly illusion, and those who succumbed to their charms were dragged beneath the surface, never to be seen again. Deep within the heart of Norway's ancient forests, there lived a creature of captivating beauty and sinister intent, the huldra. The huldra, often appearing as a stunningly beautiful woman, could be distinguished by one unsettling feature, a hollow back resembling a rotting tree trunk. These seductive forest spirits lured unsuspecting men to their doom, using their charm and beauty as a deadly weapon. A hunter lost and alone in the woods might catch a glimpse of a huldra, her laughter echoing through the trees. Drawn to her beauty, he would follow entranced deeper and deeper into the forest, never to find his way out again. Chapter 7. Trolls, the Mountain Dwellers. In the towering mountains of Norway, amidst the jagged peaks and shadowy valleys, lived the trolls. These monstrous beings, often depicted as hulking figures with grotesque features, long noses and a taste for human flesh, were the stuff of nightmares. Some trolls were said to be as tall as trees, their bodies covered in coarse hair and their eyes glowing like embers in the darkness. They were creatures of immense strength, capable of hurling boulders with ease and crushing a man with a single blow. Vikings believed that trolls shunned daylight, for it turned them to stone. They lurked in their mountain caves, waiting for the cover of darkness to emerge and wreak havoc. Chapter 8. Tameri. The nightmares made flesh. Imagine, if you will, waking from a restless sleep, your body paralyzed, a crushing weight on your chest, and a feeling of pure terror gripping your heart. This, the Vikings believed, was the work of the mare, a malevolent spirit that tormented helpless victims in their sleep. The mare, often depicted as an old woman with long, sharp fingernails and a piercing gaze, would sit upon the chests of sleepers, suffocating them and filling their dreams with vivid nightmares. The Vikings believed that the mare was responsible for sleep paralysis, night terrors, and even sudden infant death. Chapter 9. Fossagrim, the Music of the Falls. The Fossagrim, a malevolent water spirit who dwelt in waterfalls and rapids, possessed an uncanny ability to play the fiddle with such skill that it could enchant any listener. But this beautiful music came at a price. It was said that aspiring musicians would seek out the Fossagrim, offering gifts of food, tobacco, or even their own blood in exchange for musical instruction. The Fossagrim, if pleased, would agree to teach them, but beware, for the price of such knowledge was often madness or even death. Chapter 10. Nidhogg, the Devourer of the Dead. Nidhogg, the monstrous serpent, was a creature that instilled terror in the hearts of even the bravest Vikings. This fearsome dragon, dwelling beneath the roots of Yggdrasil, the world tree, was said to gnaw at the roots, forever attempting to bring about Ragnarok, the end of the world. But Nidhogg's hunger was not limited to the roots of the world tree. It was believed that Nidhogg feasted upon the corpses of the dishonored dead, those who had committed evil deeds in life, dragging their souls down to Niflheim, the realm of the dead. Outro, legacy of fear. These monsters, these creatures of myth and legend, were more than just stories. They were a part of the Vikings' reality, shaping their lives and beliefs. They were a reflection of the very real dangers that surrounded them, the harshness of their environment and the ever-present threat of the unknown. The Vikings lived in a world where the line between reality and superstition was blurred, where the forces of nature were both awe-inspiring and terrifying. These monsters served as a constant reminder of the power of the natural world and the fragility of human life. Thank you for joining us on this terrifying journey through Viking-era Norway. We hope you've enjoyed this glimpse into the dark heart of Norse mythology, where fear and fascination collide.